Hey, 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 it's your girl MJ, and welcome to the Michelle Tillman channel. I'm your girl Michelle Tillman. Today was just kind of like a test video. I was learning from my friend Larissa. Make sure you check out her YouTube channel, which is BU Beautiful One. She has great Bible studies 7 p.m. I believe it's Monday, Tuesday, Friday. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just go to her channel, subscribe so you can get the notifications. But this was just a test. Trying to see about setting up streams so that way you guys will know exactly when I'm coming on. So the tips that I'm going to record, I'm actually not going to do them now. Good morning, Gail. But so basically, I was on Anthony O'Neill's page, and he is a speaker for Dave Ramsey. And one of the comments mentioned that marriage is becoming a proverbial carrot on a stick these days. The message is being sold that you must essentially be perfect, have found yourself, travel the world, make a six-figure income, be in the best shape of your life, be finished with years of postgraduate education, have no debt, etc., in order to be married. No wonder there are few married people now than ever in history. This is a constantly moving goalpost that very few will ever reach. Good afternoon, Ashley. So, with that comment, I responded that I don't think everyone feels this way when they get offline and they're talking face to face without an audience to impress with their long list of standards that aren't realistic. And so, what I wanted to say about that is that I feel like people online try to have these long lists of things that you should have before you get married, and some of it is just not true. There are things that you can do to prepare for marriage that make your marriage better because you did them before you got married, but there are some things that simply do not matter. Like, it does not matter if you haven't traveled the world yet. You can travel the world with your future spouse. So it's no pressure like, oh my God, I don't have no stamps on my passport yet. So I'm not ready to be married because I haven't. Come on, that's just stupid. Like, if you are waiting to do something, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to do those things, but don't feel like that's something that I haven't done that yet, so I'm not ready. Like, that's just stupid to me. So, like, there's some of these things that a comment that someone made. So, what I hear this lady or man saying is that they feel pressure, that they don't fit this list of things that they should have done or be doing before they get married. And I want to respond to that and say some things don't matter. One of the things they said is have no debt. Like, come on. Like, I know Anthony O'Neill is a financial guru, so he talks about debt, and maybe he prefers not to have someone with no debt because he's worked so hard to be debt free. But man, two incomes together can knock out debt a whole lot faster. And you have someone who is on your team and in accord with you. So there's just little things to me that, you know, maybe men feel more pressure to have these things done because they feel like they're supposed to be the stable, settled one before they come to marriage. And I agree that some things men might have more pressure on, like money and stability, and women may have more pressure on their physical appearance. But it's because what is attractive to the opposite sex is what determines what you feel pressure about. Women are attracted to stability and security, i.e., you don't have a whole bunch of debt, or you had a graduate degree and you have a career. That's attractive to a woman because it shows you have stability. Men are visual. Yes, they want you to be stable, but they want you to be cute and sexy before any of that. They don't care how stable you are if you don't look cute to them. So when they say you got to be fit and all this, it's not because it's not because you can't have problem areas or parts of your body you don't like, whether it being too small or too big. It just means when men are honoring God and they are waiting for marriage with you, the last thing that you want to have to think about is not liking how you look in bed. Yes. Well, see, Ashley, that's the thing. They can get what you got as long as you are comfortable with it, because clearly if they're approaching you, they like what you got. But if you're not confident in what you got, that's where the problem lies. It doesn't matter what you have. It matters that you're confident in what you have. So you could be 500 pounds, and if he approached you, then clearly he likes someone who's 500 pounds, as long as you're confident in your 500 pounds. You could be 75 pounds. If he approached you, clearly he likes your 75 pounds, as long as you're confident in your 75 pounds. So it's just the perspective. Like, some people feel pressure to get smaller or get bigger, whatever, but you just have to be confident in where you are, because self-esteem is attractive. Low self-esteem is not attractive. You can't convince me that a man is like, oh, it's so sexy that she don't like how she look. Nobody thinks that. Any man or woman wants their partner to be confident, even if he's confident in his ability to provide. You don't want a man to be like, oh man, I don't know where the money gonna come from this week, babe. I sure hope we can get it together. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Like, she wants you to be confident that, you know what? We need what? Okay, I'm gonna handle it. Don't worry about it. I got it. And you just go do it. So the confidence that you have in his ability to provide is the same confidence that he wants you to have in your physical appearance, because those are the things that are important to the opposite sex. It might not be important to you per se, but if you're in a partnership, you have to learn. I hear Gracie. You have to learn to be confident in the things that will make you a better team. So, Lord, I forgot my background looks like a mess. But I think that's all I have for now. But I'm going to go into detail with this in another video. But I got to go get Gracie. Well, I'll come right back. Oh. Cuckoo. You all right? So, yes, so we were talking about being confident in whatever thing is going to make you a better partner. Not doing something because you need this to be married, but marriage is a partnership. So we can't act like, yeah, right? We can't act like the things that make you a better partner aren't important to address. They may not be perfect, but you should have at least addressed them before you get married. Ashley says, I need emotional confidence and stability too. Yes. It is good to get as confident as you can in certain areas, but then also some things, not all, but some things, your partner and being with someone helps you see yourself differently, and sometimes they can see things in you that nobody was honest enough to point out, because when you're vulnerable with them, they are able to see things that you can work on. So yes, that's exactly what I mean, Ashley. There's a lot of weight on them to have an 800 credit score, have owned a home, have this fancy car, to have no debt, to have this super high paying job. And to be honest, to me, it's more so about ambition and wanting to do better than already having everything. Because some men just need to they just need a little boost. You just give them a little boost and be like, hey, it would help us so much better if you had X, Y, and Z that would help take stress off of me. And sometimes um, all it is needing that push. And Ashley says they can have all those things in order, but still not be together or ready mentally, emotionally, or just with being faithful. Ooh. See, now that is something that it is not negotiable. If you are not ready to be faithful or emotionally available, then he doesn't even need to be considering being in a relationship. He needs to go to counseling. He needs to seek God about if he even really wants to be married in the first place. To me, that's just not fair when you are dating someone knowing good and well you're not ready to be faithful or anything like that. But in the same time, some men who lived however they lived before don't even know what being faithful is like. They don't even know what dating Christ-like is like. So they either haven't seen the example or they've never been challenged and never truly dated Christ-like. So things that may have been acceptable before are just not acceptable now. And that takes really being honest. Like you said, being honest with yourself, knowing that even though I am stable, that does not mean financially stable, does not mean I'm emotionally stable. Most men correlate provision with being ready. Well, you know what? I've had the opposite experience where because they have all those things, they feel like, well, when I'm ready, it'll be easy to get someone. So they make it clear that they're not looking to settle down because everything else in their life is already so good. And then when they're ready to make the switch, they make the switch. The problem is not the fact that they may not be emotionally ready. To me, the problem is when you don't tell somebody, hey, I am not ready to be committed. That's the issue. Communicating what is truly on your heart. And this goes back to, like, is he even saved? Because if you're saved, how can you be saved and be a liar at the same time? And by a liar, I mean being not fully communicating what your goal is or what you're able to commit to at this time. And some people may want to commit, but they need help and they need guidance and they need someone to hold them accountable and show them what does dating God's way actually look like. Because if you've never dated without having sex, you may be expecting something that is not going to happen when you're dating pure. Dating pure is totally different than dating your own way. So, yeah, Ashley, you're making some great points. Men correlate provision with being ready. But then, Ashley, on the other side, you got men who think because they're emotionally ready, but that means they're ready, but they don't got no money. They don't got no job. They don't got no car. But you emotionally ready? Sir, there's got to be a meeting in the middle. You can't be so emotionally ready, but have no stability, or you can't be so stable, but no way emotionally ready. You broke, but you like, but all we need is love. Sir, no, love does not pay the bills. Sir, it does not. So, anywho, this is a long live, and shout out to Larissa for reminding me that I had this live scheduled. She was helping me through learning how to do this scheduled live, but I was in the middle of my workout. So anywho, but yes, I'm gonna make an official video with these different things that men feel pressure, women feel pressured, and I'm glad we did this because Ashley has put some great concepts in about things we need to consider. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So, anywho, we are going to continue this conversation. I will upload an official video, right? Were you crying, girl? I took too long to come get you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I will come back and officially make this. So if you guys have a comment, write your comments on this video or in the live chat, or questions like what are things that you feel pressured. Right. Thank you, Larissa. Hey, Chrissy. Say hi to Aunt Ree. Have a whole entire baby. Sometimes I forget. But write your questions in your comments. Like, what are things that you feel pressured to have done or experience before you get married? What are things that you feel pressure that you feel like, okay, if that's what it takes to get married, that's too much. And as a newlywed, because I'm only 3 years in this thing, I would love to give perspective on things that actually matter and then things that probably don't matter. Like some things actually will affect your marriage if you don't do it before. And then some things like, you could do that together and it's fine. And that'll of course be from my perspective. But I just think that it's not fair. Oh, hi, Yvette. Thank you. Say thank you. I just woke up. Woke up for my second nap. One more nap for the day. Right? One more nap. One more nap. Say hi. Say one more nap. But yes. So if no other questions or comments, make sure you comment on the video and say things that you feel pressured that must be done before marriage. Or you have a question, does it really matter if I have XYZ before marriage? Or how did you feel not having XYZ? Like for instance, I was not a homeowner before I was married. And some will say, oh girl, you didn't live your life. You didn't go buy a home and stuff before you were married. I really don't think, yes, it's good to get your stuff together, but hey, it don't matter if you buy a home at 21 or 51. As long as you buy a home and have something to pass along and have something you can call your own. Or maybe you'll never buy a home, But my whole thing is just helping people to know, from a newly married person, to know like what really counts. So I see we have people live, but I guess y'all don't have any questions. So we'll leave it at that. Larissa, do you have your Bible study tonight? I don't like cooking, don't enjoy it. It's not fun. I cook because I have to eat, but nothing is fun about it. So I don't want to feel like I want to be that wife that cooks. Is it necessary? Okay, so I can definitely address that because I have a friend who does not cook. And she has been married for 21 years. So I think as long as, and Larissa's live video is tomorrow at 7 p.m. for Bible study. Check out Be You Beautiful One. Go ahead and subscribe to her channel. She's in the comments if you need to find it. Be You Beautiful One. So I would say that cooking helps, of course. I would suggest knowing how to make something. But as long as who you are marrying is aware that you don't like to cook and you ain't gonna be doing all that cooking, as long as you communicate that and they understand what that looks like, then that's the thing, is just communicating. So communicating like, look, I ain't gonna be in the kitchen doing all that cooking. Simple as that. So if you desire the dynamic in a family where where your wife is cooking all the time, then I'm not the one for you. You order takeout. You might hire a chef. Yeah. What's wrong, Poo-Poo? What's wrong? So I think the thing is just making sure that you communicate that, and then maybe he'll like to cook, and knowing that, and a good question would be like, how do you feel about gender specific roles? Like, are gender specific roles like important to you? Like, does it matter to you if you cook versus I cook? Does it matter to you versus you clean versus I clean? Like, what does a daily household stuff look like for you? Like, is that unattractive to you? Or do you want can we agree that, you know what, I'm never going to cook every day. Can I say I will cook one day a week? Is that okay? Is that something you can deal with? And I guess asking if it's okay. First of all, I would say this. Hopefully, this doesn't sound like dishonest, but there's certain things that you don't even need to bring up until he already likes you. Like, I probably wouldn't even say that I ain't cooking until he's already like into you. Unless he asked, that I wouldn't even worry about bringing that up. Like, it don't even matter because you're not coming over anyway. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense, but what I'm saying is, like, some things I save it until I know they're already into me and they're more likely to not really care. If that makes sense. Because, Ashley, what if you met a man who was everything you ever wanted, and he just said, but I just really want you to cook at least twice a week. Could you do that for me? Could you cook at least twice a week? Or how about this, Ashley? Would you be mad if you don't cook and he's totally okay with it, but you find out that some girl at his job is bringing him home cooked meals and saying, hey, I know your wife don't cook, so you want this? How would you feel if you found out that he was getting home cooked meals from someone else because she was aware that you don't cook. That has happened to some people I know. That is one of the things that made me bring up. When you gonna cook for me? Mm. Well, Brandon actually said that to me, and I say, sir, meals are earned. You don't just automatically get a meal. Like, that's not how it works. Like, our first date is not me cooking for you. You're not putting me on the stand to see how well you like my cooking. Like, that's what we're not gonna do. What we're not gonna do is that. So no, Ashley, now you gotta think about this. Of course, you have to express to him that that is not okay. But what if he has a yearning for a home cooked meal? And if you won't cook, he's like, well, it's an old lady. She's 60 years old and she's somebody's grandma. And she says, boy, you be eating out all the time. You eat them French fries. Don't you want some of this home cooked food? Does it matter how old she is? Is it just disrespectful to take it anyway? I don't know if I'd have an issue, but I don't think I'd force myself to cook just because of that. But yeah, that's just something to think about. If you're, I know 3 people in particular who that happened to, where they recognize that the man never brought home cooked food to work, and then somebody tried to bring them food. First of all, if I don't know how you live, I don't want your food. That's a whole nother issue. But I really think that Larissa made a good point. Let them get to know you. You're not cooking. It may not be a high priority as them getting to know you. But let me tell you, they will try to find out early, like Ashley said. I want to cook from a position of honor, pleasure, and because I want to. Well, that sounds good. But I will say it'll be times where it's strictly out of obligation and you won't feel honored. They might not even tell you thank you, but are you going to do it anyway? That's the question. It seems like it will be, sometimes I will say this, as a still newly married person, I forget that it is an honor to have someone to cook for. Instead, I'm like, oh, I don't feel like it today. I don't feel like it. And of course, balance is saying, hey, I am just too exhausted and I don't want to do it today. Can you cook or can we go get something? Now, sir, I got to ask you if you know how to change a tire fish. Ashley, you have me rolling. Oh, great, Larissa. I'm sure you. I wasn't sorry. I didn't want to infer that you didn't know that, but it just a reminder that it does get feeling like a task. I gotta ask you if you know how to change a tire. Yep, that is. Listen, okay, but Ashley, the same way that you said, just to challenge y'all, I'm just playing advocate here. The same way you said, well, I might not cook, but I'll order out. Well, what if he says, I can't change a tire, but I can call AAA and I got the best membership and they'll be here in 90 minutes. Is that okay? So question, what makes it an honor? Do mainly women feel like it's an honor to do, or men feel the same way? I don't think cooking in particular is an honor per se, but I do think anything that you took time to create and someone else appreciates what you created. And I think it just feels good when someone appreciates something you created, whether it's food, whether it's something else. You know. So, okay, Ashley, here's a scenario. You're married to a guy who does not know how to change a tire versus, okay, so the difference between a guy who doesn't know and a guy who thinks he's like, oh, above it and that's manual labor. So say you're married to a guy who making six figures and has a great job and all this money, but he don't know how to change a tire. But then some guy pulls up and says, hey, I can change a tire for you. Something that you don't have the weight on the profession to do. Do you allow a person to change the tire who's not your husband, but not the professional? Are you concerned that it will minimize or make your husband feel less than? Just a question. But I like that you said you're all for that. I like that you said you're all for that. As long as he makes the phone call. I guess the only difference is when maybe it's a snowy, icy night and you're stranded in the middle of nowhere and you got to wait 90 minutes. And when sure it would be easier if he knew how to change it. I guess some things to me, or if you knew how to change a tire, but he didn't. He don't want you to do it, but he'll call the number. We just needs to be changed so I can get where I got to go. If you knew how to change a tire, but he didn't, would you change it? Or would you just let AAA come? If you knew how to change the tire, would you change it if he don't know how to change it? Or would you let AAA come? What do you think could be the repercussions of you changing the tire? Oh, yes. Don't call your ex. Don't call your ex. What if your ex happened to be driving by and they're like, oh, Ashley, let me help you out. Oh, wait, you got a man with you. Oh, you don't know how to, oh, I can handle that for you. I can tell you now, I don't know how to change a tire. Thank you, Lord, that Brandon does. Okay, so clearly this is a conversation with me, Larissa, and Ashley, but I'm still enjoying it. But I need to go get back to my workout because I'm in a step competition and I'm losing right now. Let's see. I'm only at 3,300 steps for today, and I need 7,000 more. If a safe stranger comes by, I'm going to let him change that tire, just like I'm going to let my husband eat home-cooked meals from the old lady. I just saw that. He might feel less than a man, but I would hope by the time we are married, he would understand that operating from areas of strength is the key, that it isn't meant to be to demean him. Oh, if my husband is in the car and the ex stops because he sees us on the side of the road, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I'm just making up these crazy scenarios that will probably never happen. But the key is to think about anything you do that could potentially make your husband feel less than. Remember, you are the one who has to build him back up. I'm going to teach him how to change a tire. If his ego is hurt, that's a whole different combo. Right. I think that it is important to let him know. Let me see if I say this right. I think it would be important to make sure. I wouldn't say let him know. I think you said it right. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to let him see that you have the ability to do certain things that are not gender, typically your gender doesn't do. And maybe that could apply to him as well. The same way, well, maybe you think your gender doesn't typically cook. So, I did something outside of my gender role. Maybe you could give it a try. But to make sure that it's said with love and, of course, not demeaning. He might say it, or he may feel like less of a man. And that's not your fault. But when you're married, sometimes it doesn't matter if it's your fault. It's still your job to rebuild his ego back up. So, Brandon,
Yeah.
if you didn't know how to change a tire and we're stuck on the side of the road and I changed the tire, like say we were just dating and I changed the tire, but you don't know how, like, how would that make you feel as a man?
We were dating and I didn't know how to change the tire and you did it.
And you was like, well, let me call AAA. And I'm like, oh, no, don't worry about it. I got this. Let me show you how it's done.
I would feel as though in my mind that.
Can y'all hear him?
Are you trying? Can they hear me?
No, I'll just go ahead. I'll repeat what you said.
In my mind, is she trying to show me up that she knows that I can't change the tire, and that I would feel less of a man knowing that I can't change the tire, and make me think about why haven't I learned the skill of being able to change the tire up until now.
So would it make you want to go learn?
Yep.
Would you still want to date her afterwards? Or would you be like, nah?
It would all be based off of the conversation that's had after that event has transpired.
So if she's like, man, I almost said the N-word. Man, Negro, I'll say that. Man, Negro, get your tail out the way. Let me change this tire. I can't believe you don't know how to change a tire.
That sounds like she might be playing.
No, like she's serious. But I was trying not to. I don't know how to say it serious without saying the N-word. That's really bad. Wait, like, okay, I'm trying to say it without laughing. Okay, so if she like, wait, you don't know how to change a tire? Like, where did you grow up? Who was your dad? Like, how you 35 and you don't know how to change a tire? Let me do this. Like, so Brandon's saying that it depends on what the conversation is after she changes the tire on whether or not he will feel some type of way. But it will be a reflection on him, like, well, dang, how did I make it this long in my life and never know how to change a tire? Oh, let's see. I'm going to build him up no matter what, but I look at these areas to grow for his confidence. Yes, I'm a country girl. We taught a whole lot of things. If I'm with a city boy who has only taken public transportation his whole life, I wouldn't even expect him to know how to change my little tire. Well, saying it like that would automatically make him feel defeated. What? Okay. What? What you talking about, girl? You looking at your dad? So I guess we're saying that we're okay with a man who doesn't know how to change a tire. That's one of the things. Hey, like Brandon just said, look on YouTube. It's too much stuff on YouTube for you not to know how to do stuff. It's too much stuff on YouTube for you not to know how to do stuff in 2020. Too much. So I think we can all agree it really depends on how you have told them. But we got to this whole point because Ashley said that men ask about cooking and, can you cook or will you cook for me? But let's look deeper. What is he asking you without asking you? Like, what is the deeper question when he's asking about cooking? What is he really asking for? I'm challenging y'all to think. When a man is asking you to cook for him, he's not just asking for food. He could go order food. What is he really asking you when he's asking, will you cook for me? Anybody who's watching chime in. What? It's not that the thing is, Ashley, he probably doesn't even recognize what he's really asking you. What is he really wanting to know when he says, can you cook for me? Larissa? Who else is watching? I don't know how to see. I don't think I can see because I will call your name out. He's looking for a level of respect and honor. I know I've get what he's saying. He's asking about my wife qualities and wanting to measure how and if I'll take care of him. He's asking how much do I care? Qualities to be a wife. No, okay, I think Ashley's probably the closest. Not actually, can you cook? I don't think that's actually what he's asking. I don't even think he's like, well, okay, I think the closest answer to what I was thinking is he's wanting to know what I'll do for him. He's wanting to know if you will dedicate the time to doing something for him. So it is kind of basically what you'll do for him. Because if it was just about food, he would say, you want to buy me something to eat? Like, like, yes, he wants to know if you will make time for him. Okay, that's actually the better answer that I didn't think it all the way through. He wants to know if you will take time and do something that you planned and thought out. But I would put back on him, you take the time and plan and think out something for me first before we get to that intimate level of me planning and thinking things for you. Because me opening up in that way to you opens myself to receive criticism from you. For example, if you don't like what I made. So if I'm sitting there watching you eat and you're like, ew, or oh my God, this isn't right, or this is too salty, or this is overcooked, or this is undercooked, or you make any comments, now you have hurt me in talking about my labor of love when maybe that level of labor of love is not due to you so soon. I was always on the more perspective of, yes, I can cook, and one day I will cook for you. But to me, that is a really personal. What puts the responsibility on them to do that first? Because men are designed to pursue women, and that's just in their nature. So if we're just talking on the phone and we've never been on a date before, then there's no way our first date is going to be me cooking for you. Absolutely not. Because that is not, to me, that is not him pursuing you. That is him trying to get something from you that is more intimate than he deserves yet. It's very personal, especially if they come into your house. Now, okay, maybe you have leftovers and you take them plate. Even that, because it also, you have to have a confidence in yourself. Are you willing to open yourself to his feedback and his like or dislike of what your food is? Like, what are you ready for that? Are you ready to be married in the way that you made your mac and cheese your whole life? He don't like it. So yeah, what you gonna say when your husband don't like the way you made it? Hmm? What you gonna say? Sorry, I got a text. I didn't get it, but I will look for it. So mac and cheese might be a deal breaker. Well, see, no, this is the thing. Are you willing to do it a different way, or are you so convinced that your mac and cheese is perfect and there's no reason why he should not like it the way you make it? Um, I have actually had conversations with some of my friends. I had this conversation, well, not, yes. I had a conversation with a friend who cooked for a guy and he critiqued her meal so bad and would not eat it because he didn't like the way it was prepared. And she made the comment that, I know this is good. I can't, I don't understand how you didn't eat this because I know this is good. So there's two sides to that. There's one, good, what's good is relative to the person who's eating it, number one. But there's also the side of, dang, that is so hurtful that you would demean my food that way after I did my labor of love to cook. So there's two connections. So if I said, and if you volunteered to, let me think, paint my house, and I said, oh, but you left that spot over there, and you left that spot over there, and you left that spot over there. You didn't paint it the way I wanted it painted. And I think you should go up to this edge versus that edge or whatever. But he took the time to paint. Okay. Now he might be, you know what? Go hire somebody else. But can you be mad if this is what I have to enjoy? If I don't do it the way you think it should? I mean, if he didn't do it how you wanted it to be done and he was volunteering, then can you be mad? So, with food, should you do something the way someone wants so that they will be happy, or should they just accept your free gift the way you give it? Well, I will tell you this. As a newly married woman, I suggest you learn the way that he likes it. Or you're going to be mad when you're the only one eating that mac and cheese for the next week because he don't like it. Hmm? Now, some men will never say what they don't like. They'll just try to go sneak it and throw it in the trash. They're going to get it to that trash can before you see. Or they won't get seconds. So they may not verbally say it, but they'll be saying it like Like Pastor said once, you don't want it to be years later after marriage and he finally confessed that he does not like your mac and cheese. True, true. I guess the question is, do you really want to know the answer? Do you really want to know the truth? Okay. All right. But anywho, I've been on here for almost an hour and I think somebody's ready to eat. You ready to eat, Poo Poo? You ready to eat? Okay. Whew, I'm just enjoying talking to y'all. This is so much fun. So, anywho, I'll come back on and we'll continue the discussion. Sorry, Poo Poo. Let's get something to eat. Let's get something to eat. All right. Love you guys. We'll continue this conversation. I'll schedule another live. Bye. Give a thumbs up to this video. Drop a comment. Things you feel pressured to do before marriage. Ouch. Don't pull your mom's hair. Don't pull your mom's hair.